Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a DIY French country farmhouse banner two ways. It's actually reversible. So I was inspired by this banner that I've had for a million trillion years. I think I got it at the Target dollar spot. We're going to use some black and white ticking, but you really can use whatever fabrics you want for your decor. And the other side we're going to use a black and white gingham because that goes with the style of my house. And then for the ribbon, we're going to use the Dollar Tree's lace ribbon. And then we're going to use our gluing device as well as a pinking shear. If you don't have to use the pinking shear, you could just use a regular scissor if you want. That's fine too. I just really like that rustic feel that you get with a pinking shear. Okay? The first thing I'm going to do, and I didn't mention you need a template to cut your eggs out, but I kind of figured you guys knew that. But you could just use any size you want for whatever look you're going for. All right, and what I decided to do to make it simple is we're going to cut out, I'm using this plastic egg from Dollar General because I like the size of it. It's very similar to the size of the completed eggs banner that I already have. This is the ticking one I'm going to do first, and no particular reason, just because I picked it first. And what I decided to do was to trace on there. Now I'm just going to get a marker because you can't see the pencil, but I can see the pencil. But I wanted you guys to be able to see it. So I'm just tracing around the shape of the egg, and because I'm cheap, and I like to say cheap, I try to squeeze in as many as I can. So if the lines touch each other, that's fine, as long as I cut it neatly. And what we're going to do first, and I didn't say you needed your regular cutting device, but what we're going to do first is we're going to cut these out, and we're going to make it simple on us because we're going to glue these to the whole piece of the gingham, and you'll see that in a second. I decided just to do 8. Did I do 8? I did 10. How many did I do? I think I might have done 10. Did I do 8? I don't know. You guys will see. But you, again, do as many as you want, depending on how long you want your banner to be and how full you like it to look. I'm just giving you inspiration. You guys come up with your own design that you like the bestest. This would also be really cute with pastel fabrics. And just like any fabric art, design, DIY, decor that we make, this would be so precious if you had grandma's house dress or an old apron or grandpa's t-shirt. You know how I love to make crafts out of sentimental items. And I think that this would be one that would just be perfect for it. But if you are truly farmhouse and you wanted to make one side burlap and the other side gingham, if you wanted to make them both sides gingham, it's entirely up to you. Again, I'm just giving you ideas, the inspiration. You guys go ahead with the design. Now the inspiration one that I've had that for a couple of years. Like I said, I've gotten that from the Target dollar spot. I actually feel like maybe even 4 or 5 years. But it's blank on one side, it says welcome on the other side, and there is sporadic flowers on it. We're not going to decorate it that much. We're just going to copy the ribbon, or actually somewhat copy the ribbon. We're going to do it something a little different. Okay, so after you cut out all of the egg shapes out of your one fabric, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our glue gun. And this is just me cutting a section to make a workable section from the yardage. I cut off actually the 2 pieces that I had that were beyond the straight cut. Like sometimes when I cut a piece out, it leaves little flaps hanging. So I just cut the flaps off today. And I'm gluing the one piece of fabric directly onto the other while I'm keeping it whole. And I'm going to cut them both out together with the pinking shears. Now, I'm stuffing these. I didn't say we needed stuffing because you could use tissues or garbage bags or shopping bags or whatever. But so you want to keep a piece open. So if you see, I was holding the one side of each time I glued it down. I'm holding this side down and then gluing from like my finger back around to my finger and leaving that space open. And then of course me being like not perfectionist, but me being me, I wanted to make sure that I went, you know, even, parallel, perpendicular, that kind of stuff. So I wanted to zoom in here so you guys could see what I was talking about. So I hold my finger on one side, and this is the wrong sides of the fabric, obviously. Actually, this is a homespun, so there's no wrong sides. But if you had it printed, you want to hold your finger on one side where it's going to stay open. And that's what I did. You can pick the bottom if you want to. It's totally entirely up to you. And then I just rough cut the pieces apart. And then I'm going to go back in with the pinking shear, and I'm going to cut both of them together. You could pink them both separately and then glue them on top. I just wanted that nice, like, machine look almost. I don't know. I'm weird. Sometimes I want things to look homemade, and sometimes I want them to look like I bought them from a factory. I can't figure myself out. Now, another thing you could have done first was to, so the ribbon is going to be glued across one side in a straight piece, and then I'm going to put pieces across the other side to look like it's a continuous. You could glue it on now, but I just preferred to glue it on after. Because of the kind of lace ribbon, that crocheted lace, I didn't feel like it needed to be pinked because it's already like jagged edges, if that makes sense. So you're just going to repeat this with all of the eggs. And then one of the things that I didn't show you here is you need to check for your gluing. So I think at Valentine's Day, when we did all of the puffed pillow DIYs, the Valentine's hearts, after you're done gluing the two pieces together, you want to go in with your finger or something and make sure that you have all your edges actually are glued closed and you don't have any holes. And you'll see when we start to stuff them that I actually made holes because I was being a little rough with the stuffing. So you'll see that here in a bit. But you just want to continue to cut all of them. Now, I just picked black and white. Like I told you guys a million times before, my home is mostly French country farmhouse, so it's got a lot of the, I have lots of black furniture, I have lots of toile, I have lots of ticking, and then also the gingham and the buffalo check, black and white, with touches of red as well. So this is why I picked these fabrics. But do you please, by all stretch of the imagination, go ahead and do whatever looks good with your home. This would look cute in any sort of decor. And you can also use any kind of ribbon. You don't have to stick with the lace. All right. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking my table, and I know that if you're a crafter and a diehard crafter, you should like measure your table and know exactly, like my table is exactly 46 inches. So if I want to like guesstimate, if I need something to be about 4 feet tall, I measure from one end of the table to the wall is 48 inches. So what I did was, because I measured that area, I was able to know exactly how big the ribbon was. It helped me space out the eggs. Now, normally we create banners that are adjustable. I like things to be able to slide on the string so that they're adjustable. But every once in a while we create a banner like this that has to be, the pieces are glued in place. And for this kind of banner, you want to make sure that they're spaced evenly. And you want to make sure they're all going to fit on the they're all going to fit on on the ribbon. They're all going to fit across the ribbon that you, the size you want. Oh my goodness, that was so hard to say. So what I've done is I've used the edge of my table to evenly space them out. Okay. Then I started to glue them all on one side. You could definitely flip. That would look cute too. But I wanted this to be reversible to get two different looks out of it. So what I'm doing is I'm putting a very, very light bead of hot glue down, laying the ribbon down, and then I'm going in with my finger to make sure that the two pieces of fabric didn't glue together. I found that that's very important, because if you wait till that glue is cool, if they did glue together and you wait till the glue is cool, you really won't get them apart. But if you do it even while the glue's wet, if it did happen to you, then you go ahead and you can separate them while they're still wet. But I just used a light touch with the glue, and I glued it on the heavy duty part of the fabric. One of these is a much heavier weight. The ticking is a much heavier weight than the gingham, so it didn't bleed through, which was kind of good. All right. And after I have done all of that, oh wait, I didn't. I put it on the gingham. What did I do? I don't know. I think I glued it on the gingham. I don't remember now. But they both get glue, so it doesn't make a difference. I glued it on the gingham first. Yeah. And then once I've done gluing them all on there, we're going to go ahead and we're going to flip it over and we're going to put a piece of lace corresponding with the lace, pieces of lace on each egg that correspond with the lace ribbon, so that when you flip it over, it looks like it's one continuous piece. So you're not really supposed to know exactly which side it's glued on. I mean, not that it's trying to be an optical illusion, but if it's going to be reversible, you want to be able to say it could look like it's glued on either side. All right. So you guys know I always design on the fly with you. So I wanted to see how easy it would be. I stuffed the first egg and then I tried to glue the ribbon on after the fact, just to see it would be easier. If you stuffed it first, you wouldn't have to worry about gluing the two pieces of fabric together, but you'll also have more of a difficult time laying the ribbon down flat. So I kind of like, let me see and which one works, and it actually worked better just to glue the ribbon on first before we stuffed it. All right. So you can see here how it would be just a little bit more difficult to lay it flat, but it's not impossible. If you feel more comfortable stuffing it first, then I by all means go right ahead. All right, then I'm just going to repeat with the rest, and I'm going to actually glue them on first. And then once you stuff it, whether you stuff it first or you stuff it after, you want to make sure when you glue your seams closed, which isn't very difficult, just put the tip of the glue gun in the opening, just give it a light squeeze, and then close it. Close it down, pinch it down onto itself. And again, that can be warm, and you might have the chance that some glue could ooze out, so be careful, be mindful of it, okay? And you don't want to glue in too much because you don't want your egg to be misshapen. You want to just hold along that edge that you glued before, okay? Now every once in a while with this Dollar Tree ribbon, it'll fold onto itself. It'll be folded into on the spool, from the factory. So what I like to do is I like to glue it, put it down, and then I like to glue the bottom half. So this particular piece won't be free-flowing like the rest, but it'll lay flat and it'll look uniform. All right? Now, here's your opportunity before or after you stuff it to embellish it. So if you wanted to take some more of this lace ribbon, maybe make bows. That would be very, very pretty. If you wanted to take some burlap flowers or little blossoms from the Dollar Tree, maybe the little wildflower blossoms or little lilac blossoms, that would be absolutely beautiful as well. And you can just glue them on here and you can make it a little bit more feminine. If you are concerned about their weight, if you ended up wanted them stuffed heavier or fuller or thicker, and you wanted to put your ribbon up a little bit towards the narrow part of the egg so that they don't have a tendency to flip over. Sometimes when you stuff them too much, they'll have a tendency to flip over, depending on where you're hanging them, of course. All right? But as you could watch me stuff them and you realize I didn't check for holes, please learn from my mistakes. But these are just options. Any of these options would be really, really lovely. Now, the Dollar Tree wooden letters that they sell in the craft section would look really cute spelling the word welcome. Of course, you would need 2 packs because there's 2 E's in welcome, but otherwise that'd be really cute. You'd also need 2 packs if you spelled the word Easter, happy, blessed, any of those words. You would need 2 packs of letters. Why are all the good words have double letters? Hope and love. There you go. You could spell hope or love. They both have. And faith. You could spell faith as well. Okay. Risen. Risen only has 1 of each letter in it. Yeah, that would work as well. So that's just some different ideas that you can get where you could glue the letters directly onto the eggs. That would be fantastic. Okay. Now, like I said, I'm stuffing this with batting. I actually had this project that I took apart. It was a wreath that I made in Homemakers back in '06. And I took it apart, and I had all of this little pieces of batting left over. So I didn't tell you we needed batting. I actually bought batting at the Dollar Tree one time, fiberfill, polyfiberfill. It was a small pack from the Dollar Tree, which was perfect size. But if you remember from Valentine's Day, you can stuff these with shopping bags from the Dollar Tree. It's definitely a great way to recycle shopping bags. What I like to do is I have a bag of bags in my house that I use for garbage and for repurposing. And then I have a bags like when a bag's got a hole in it or it's ripped handle. What do you do with that? You could just throw it out. You could take it to your recycling center, or you could use it for stuffing. You can use it for insulation. You can use it for different things around your house as well. So don't give up on, doesn't have to go in the garbage on the heap. That's all I'm saying. Okay? Now for the ends of the ribbon, all I did was fold them back onto themselves and create loops, and then fold them and glue them down to themselves. The inspiration piece, they're actually just tied, but I like that nice, neat loop that goes down. And that's it. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. I did take pictures of it on my china cabinet where the original one was, but I didn't end up leaving it there. You'll see in a second. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to share this video with friends and family. Anybody you know might be interested in making one of these in any fabrics that they like. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe, and when you do, a little bell will pop up. When you ring that bell, YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And as always, you take care, God bless, and we'll see you next time. Bye! And don't forget to check out the vlog channel. The link is in the description box down below. Bye!